Hey, it's Greg. I'm back with week one down for my coding bootcamp. So 12 weeks left to go, but week one was good. I had a stomach bug Tuesday and part of Wednesday, so I missed instruction. I missed the whole day Tuesday, and I missed lab time on Wednesday. So I did get instruction, which was nice because, well, I'll go into that in a second. But so it was a rough week, but overall, I'm feeling way more confident in HTML and CSS. We built this website on Tuesday with the lab. So Tuesday I was gone, but they post videos online on our course that we can go and watch that go over the instruction for the day, and then they give us the lab. So the lab was just to clone this basic website using only HTML and CSS. So I pulled this image and then this one and imported them, used HTML and then used CSS to pull in this. Um, yeah, so they just wanted to make sure we had some basic concepts down, nav bar, some links, just some text, a picture, and then using the different, like, this would be like in the header, I'd have the nav, and in the main, I'd have this, and I did different sections, and like the footer down here. So that was Tuesday's lab, but I was out sick for. Oh, Monday was just going over all the like, here's the class, here's what we expect from you. No using AI for this, you're only hurting yourself. We'll be using AI later on to help us once we've got the basics down, once we figure things out. Yeah, so don't worry too much about using AI. Actually avoid it at all costs until we tell you when to use it. So we're doing that for now. Moving on to Thursdays was, okay, so this was Tuesdays. This was Wednesday's website, so a little bit bigger, and Wednesday was great. I did make instruction even though I was sick, and then I left for the lab part, and I did it way late Wednesday night after I went home and slept. But this one, they introduced Bootstrap to us and showed us how to import that and how useful it can be. And so we spent Tuesday learning Bootstrap. Sorry, that was Wednesday learning Bootstrap, and then they showed us like, here's the documentation for it. You can look up the different things. And like I think colors was one of the main things. Yeah, so you're just typing like primary text dash primary makes all the text blue, text dash secondary makes all the text gray. And you can use like danger and warning. So like these are all the built-in colors, right? And so there's other ones you can use, and they kind of go over that briefly, but they want us to just play with it, figure it out. There's a lot of padding, like P-0 to get rid of padding, or margin Y if you only want the top and bottom, or margin X, so MX dash and 1 through 5, things like that. So pretty cool. Bootstrap is a framework used for CSS, and apparently a lot of companies use their own or created their own, but this is a widely used one. Um, we used jobs at Twitter. That's funny. We used Bootstrap for this. So this was Wednesdays. Thursdays, they gave us a Figma and they taught us about Figma and how it's kind of like the design team will pass that over and say, hey, we want the website to look like this. Here's the colors, here's whatever else. And they taught us about variables inside of CSS and how to make like the different colors of variable so that if they want to update their website with different color schemes, you just go in and update the variables. So like theme, accent, light, dark, and you can just put in different colors and it never has to, you don't have to change it in like 20 places. You just change it in the variables at the top of the CSS, and then it will update those like dash dash accent will then change. If you change it from this green to like an orange, everywhere on the web page where this green is would then change to that orange color. So things like this. So you don't have to go in and update it manually. You just have a variable do it for you, which is cool. Learned about some buttons. We learned about cards and like how you can do an offset and like set them over the area they're in. And they taught us how to use like the inspect feature. And so I can come look down here. Like I'm all this text at the top, the div dot column. Oh yeah, so you can set it up in like rows, and then columns. And so they showed us how to do like the column is 12 long for the whole web page, for the whole left to right. And so you split it into sections. So you have like this section this is a row for some reason, but this is a column MD6. So column, and then the MD is medium, so on medium sized screens or larger. um, it will show up as a medium 6, but when you go back to like a small screen, it goes to a column 12, so it takes up its whole position. So you don't try and cram all this onto one little phone screen. So like if we shrink this down, see it becomes its own full row, so it's not trying to compete with the thing next to it. So like this, the welcome impact up here should go up above this picture of the graph there. But yeah, so this is now column 12, and it should show that actually, right? Oh no, column 12 is just default. Never mind, that's why you don't have to put it in there. Column 6 for medium, yeah. So yeah, I got cards. Um, oh, and then this one was interesting, like having these input fields, and you can put in the, it's not called default, it's called something else in here, but yeah, where you can, like where it says your name in there before you start typing, so what it shows in there for that, so you can kind of give a hint to the user what you want them to put. Subject line, and then this one was a text area, which was kind of cool because you got to specify how many rows you wanted. I think I did 4 on this one. Yeah. And then a button down here. And so yeah, this was just another clone repository from Figma. We built this up. It was kind of fun. So Bootstrap for these two Wednesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays was pure HTML and CSS. And we had to write our own classes in CSS, which was fun, and that taught us a lot. I really enjoyed doing that actually, but Bootstrap, having them already all built in, you just gotta learn what they are, makes it so much faster when you're building new sites because you just already know, like, okay, I have these classes, I don't have to go build them again. So frameworks are cool, definitely see the use for them. Um, yeah, overall, feeling really good about HTML and CSS. And then, oh yeah, MDI, we gotta learn this one, material design icons, and these are all free use apparently, so you can just import them. So let's say I wanted a hamburger, right? So I'm like, oh, well, a menu, some people call it a hamburger, so that's what that is. But if you wanted like an actual hamburger, you click on it and you go to like web font, and then you copy this into your HTML. And so now you'll have a hamburger in there. You do have to bring in the MDI just like the framework for Bootstrap. So in your HTML in the head part, you'll bring them in with links. I'm pretty sure it's a link. It's been a minute. Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay. And then yeah, a lot of cool stuff. Really enjoyed this. I didn't think I would as much because I don't really like design aspect, but kind of making it a mental puzzle of like, how do I get this picture in this location, or how do I get this text spaced out evenly or bolded or all capital, or like how do I split these evenly, and the different things we did was kind of fun. So that was Tuesday or Monday through Thursday. Friday was our big project, and they're like, this is what we call your checkpoint. You're gonna have 8 of these throughout the course. So the first 6 weeks they're each 1 week long. So we get it Friday morning, they unlock it for us after kind of going over it, and we get all the stuff. Like what there's for this week, there was 11 different things we had to do and show that we knew how to do when we created our next website. And they give us a Figma with notes inside there that say like, you must have this card move position above these two on like mobile screens, or we only want the cards to spill over on larger, greater screens. So small and medium, we don't want them spilling out, things like that. So you have to make sure that you check all those boxes when you're creating this website. So I spent most of Friday, got mine finished and knocked out. I'll probably show that next week because not that anybody from my class is going to go watch these videos, but in case they do, I just don't want to have it up there for them. Though they're all probably done by now. They're way smarter than I am. That being said, it was a lot of fun. I look forward to next week, which is JavaScript, and we'll be doing the programming side of things, which I'm nervous about, but we'll see. It looks fun. I know we're going over arrays, objects, for loops, if statements, things like that, which technically we've already done. If statements, I think. No, we haven't. That is just something we've talked about. So yeah, we're going to be using JavaScript now to make things happen inside of our web page. So I look forward to that. And yeah, it's a 4-day week for us. So technically, I already went over and did Mondays um, lab. I'll call it that. It was for a scoreboard. I don't know if I posted it in my, do I have one for a scoreboard? No. So I'll have to upload that. I watched the video for Tuesdays as well and started the Tuesdays lab, which will be tomorrow, just to get a head start because I'm not good with JavaScript yet and programming in general. So I wanted to kind of have some questions ready to go for things I'm not understanding. So I did part of that, and I'll show that next week on my little where am I at video. So this week, HTML, CSS, learn Bootstrap, and got to play with that more. Frameworks for CSS was a key thing they want us to know. I feel like those are the main takeaways. And we just did 4 or 5 different websites. Cloning. Oh, Figma was another one. Yeah. So we'll see how the next week goes.